So we are currently a family of 10. We have a 17-year-old, a 12-year-old, 2 8-year-olds, a 6-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 1-year-old.
Yeah, 17 to 1. We have 2 that we have adopted.
Yep.
And
One
we
that
have...
2 that we are fostering.
And 2 that we're fostering. Well, it was the summer of
2017. We attended a service at Fountain Springs, and David was talking a lot of the statistics of foster care. And I mean, in my heart, I kind of always felt like I'd want to foster at some point. But the biggest thing I always hear from people, oh, it's just not the right time. It's not the right time. And so Ryan and I, after that service, had a lot of heart-to-hearts. I'm like, well, why not? Why can't
what's
we?
holding us back?
Yeah.
Why haven't we made the decision to?
Yeah. We're officially certified in July of 2018, and within the week we took in our first placement was a 2-month-old baby.
And we had a choice to pick because there was multiple kids that were like, hey, here's what's available. Who would you like to take? And
yeah, they gave us 3 choices of different babies, and they're like baby A, baby B, baby C, and I'm like, oh my goodness. I mean, it just spoke to us again that there is such a need. So
when we first started foster care, we weren't doing it in the hopes of adopting. We wanted to do it to provide these kids a safe place to be until they could ultimately be reunified with their families.
So our first placement, we got him when he was 2 months old, and when he was about 1.5 years old, reunification was not in the cards for him. And so the state did approach us about being a potential adopted placement for him. And of course we were like, yes, absolutely. I mean, he's grown up with our family, our kids, so
that was it. That's where like, this is it. We're gonna do this. We're gonna add another member to the family. As the children get older, you know, especially if they've been in the system for a long time, they tend to be more difficult because they've been through a lot more hurt. They've been through a lot more trauma. So some people tend to steer away from that because they don't want to have to, I don't know, go through with it, experience it, challenge it.
You're going to have to go through some trauma too. The biggest thing is just get to know each other and build that family bond, because that's super important.
For sure.
And especially with the older kids, to let them know you're going to be there for them, because they've been through a lot and they just want to make sure that in the end that you're going to stand up for them and have their back. Our teenager, we do have the intent to adopt.
She's towards the end. I mean, she turns 18 in 7 months, and she's gonna be graduating from high school, and she doesn't have anybody to call family. She doesn't have anybody to reach out to or go home to for Thanksgiving or Christmas. Nobody to celebrate birthdays with, and that really spoke to us that this is something that we needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't ever look back and remember myself saying, you know what, I'm gonna have 8, 10, 12 kids. I feel like the reason that we have the 2 that we have adopted is because of God. And you know, like we talked about with the whole reunification, and all the way back to the beginning of which child we were going to take into our care and which one we were going to care for. At that moment, we had no idea what we were doing, but God had a plan. Mm-hmm. And because of his plan, we were able to also adopt his younger brother. We would have missed out on family, relationships, our children's bond with other children, other groups of people.
I think the community, it's really opened our eyes. Like, unfortunately, you learn more of the bad in the world, but then you get to be part of the good.